Welcome to another real-time trade. In this video, I'll discuss several ways to manage the trade to empower you to design a trade management model that suits your unique mental wiring. This is the stuff of the real game. Now let's join the trade in progress. Hey guys, Czar here. Happy Friday to you. Hope all is well. It is Friday, November the 24th, and it is 9:30. Just after the market open right here, we're 30 seconds in. You see that first candle? This is the Three Sisters, guys, for those who are new. It's the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow side by side. 1 minute charts with VWAP, volume weighted average price. That's the blue line in the middle, with 2.5 standard deviation bands on either side. Selling off here a little bit into the open on NASDAQ and S&P, but rallying, doing the opposite here on the Dow. So that's a divergent opening here just on the first candle. That could equalize or synchronize in a little bit here. We'll see. We're watching relative strength, relative weakness, synchronicity, divergence, all these important things between these indices to gain some clues here on this holiday shortened Friday. So we had Thanksgiving yesterday, of course, in the U.S., and our American friends, many are still celebrating today. They go have a nice long 4-day weekend by taking today off as well. Volumes will be thin today, as they typically are on this day under these circumstances, and I believe that markets, I know that markets are closing early today as well. NYSE, I believe, closes at 1, and I think futures close at 12:15, even earlier. So hopefully traders will be very careful here today if they're choosing to even trade. I may not. I'll be looking for only very compelling setups if I decide to trade at all. But I wanted to just click record here and take a look at this open. These are the 30-minute zones you'll see here on the bottom left-hand side. This is my trading grid daily chart up in the top left-hand side. 30-minute bottom left and the 1 minute or 2 minute. Now let's move it to the 1 minute, shall we? There, 1, 2, or 3 minute chart usually, actually always on the right hand side here. I typically use the 1 minute chart for the first 30 minutes to 1 hour or so, while volumes are higher. Then I may step up to the 2 or the 3 minute chart for this kind of trigger chart, if you will. That's the Dow. Let's take a look at the S&P. There it is. You see the daily picture looks very similar. And then we have kind of rejecting from a zone here from yesterday in Asia. So less important, but still relevant support zone there. And then, of course, the NASDAQ here rejecting and firing up now. Remember that? Remember what we saw here? The selling off now, rallying. There's that synchronizing that I mentioned. That will sometimes happen right after the open. All right, guys, I'm going to put you on pause, and I'll bring you back if I see something happening here. We will discuss entries, exits, and management, all those good things. Of course, I will be cutting out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, things like that to keep this video nice and tight. I'll put you on pause. I'll bring you back. All right, guys, watching the Dow here and the Three Sisters, as always. Buy stop order, guys, right here. Buy stop order. I'll refine this in a moment. You know where I go here. That's my alarm. Three Sisters supporting this idea. And I'm in, guys. All right, coin has been tossed. I'm going to put you on pause, and I'll bring back the markers, or bring out the markers, and then we'll talk about this trade in more detail. Pause now. And target 1 has been hit, guys. So the 1 hour all or nothing trader has left the game with full profitability. And of course, the 2 hour move stop to break even at 1 hour has now moved their stop to break even because we hit 1 hour. That trader will either make 0 or break even, or 2 hour, nothing in between. While the 1.5 and 2 hour all or nothing traders are still going to sit here and wait to see what happens. This is a trend continuation trade, guys, as you can tell. Impulse up here, looking at the bottom left-hand side here. right? Impulse move. First of all, very daily bullish. We have broken yesterday's high. In fact, we had broken yesterday's high way back here in right on the open with this big impulse move up and then a pullback, of course. And so very bullish daily here on the Dow. Three Sisters agreed with this as well. Let me just take you over there. You can see after the double bottom here in the NASDAQ, same thing on the S&P. Dow being the strongest, not even remaining below VWAP, while as these two actually tapped and went beyond 2.5 standard deviations below VWAP. So the Dow very strong here on a relative basis. So that's the instrument of choice for a long, of course. And then having formed a new bottom here on the open in line with the three pre-market, pre-New York candles here, right? Trying to go down, rejecting hard, and then rallying up. And this, of course, is also a pattern that you see me trade a lot here with a pullback, a couple of scoops, and then a little pullback here, right? So trying to get higher, little pullback, failure to get to a new low, not even remotely, in fact. Another 1, 2, and then breaking this little pivot here. It's a cup and a handle feel, certainly not a textbook cup and a handle, but you've heard me talk about this pattern before, probably many times if you watched any number of my 700 plus videos in the last 1 year period. I'll put you back on pause, guys, and we'll see how this trade pans out on this very thin day, by the way, but going our way nonetheless so far. And target 2 has been hit finally, guys. 1.5 hour all or nothing trader has left the game as well. And now we're waiting to see if we can hit this final most extreme target of 2R, which will be 44 points. Only 44 points, so you can see how narrow the range is today on a relative basis. Sometimes these trades that look like this on the chart will be 100, 120 points, so you get the idea. This is a narrow range, fairly narrow range. Of course, the Dow was actually up 110 points here on the future session, which began at 6 p.m. last night and is now 10:24 or 10:25 the following day, of course. Put you back on pause and we'll see if we can finish this off. And we're done, guys. Third target, 2R. 2R all or nothing trader, of course, leaves the game as well. Profitable, all four models profitable here because the 2R move stopped to break even, never came back to break even, and so everything worked out just fine. It's 10:30 a.m., 1 hour in, and we've had a nice 2R win. I'm likely not to trade again today, but who knows, anything's possible. The market again does close early. Trend continuation trade, guys. Bullish daily, breaking yesterday's high into new ground here on the Dow. Bullish, the 30-minute as well. Nice bullish rally here in the European session to mid-Europe. Orderly partial retracement, finding support here. Initial drop here on the open, right? Both, first of all, it spiked up, then drop, and then breaking back above again for that continuation, impulse corrective continuation in the context of this very bullish daily chart. Thanks for being here, guys. Have an amazing weekend if I don't see you again later. And I appreciate you and I appreciate your support. We'll talk soon.